Hey travelers, Chris and I are kicking off our slow travels through Southeast Asia here in Singapore. Normally we stay in a place for a few weeks or longer, but we're only staying in Singapore for a few days. This video is all about what we did, where we stayed, and how much it cost us. Singapore is a city-state of 6 million people located in Southeast Asia. It has a reputation for being expensive. But is it really as pricey as people say? We'll talk about how much we spent on food, accommodations, activities, and transportation here. So let's start with the cost of food in Singapore.
Well, we've been here about 20 hours and we haven't eaten yet because of jet lag, so we're gonna go try and find some breakfast at a hawker center.
Our first meal in Singapore was this delicious dumpling noodle soup for $4.50. Like many major cities, there is a huge range of food prices. You can go for very elaborate and expensive meals, or you can do what we did to save some money and eat at the hawker centers. Hawker centers are all around Singapore and are similar to food courts. Some stalls are even recommended by Michelin. We pretty much only ate at the hawker centers the entire time we were here.
We're here at the hawker center in the China complex in Chinatown, and it is packed, and I really hope we can get some good food because I am tired and hungry.
We shared the large clay pot chicken for 13 Singapore dollars and refilled our water bottles for free.
You want me to order a black carrot cake?
We also tried the strangely named black carrot cake, which doesn't contain any carrots.
Oh, that's good. Oh, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By focusing on the hawker centers, we kept our eating costs to about 30 Singapore dollars per day eating out here. That's the total price for the two of us. But keep in mind that we shared plates quite often. The servings weren't huge, but we found them satisfying. If you're looking for something that doesn't feel like a food court, there are also some really fun-looking restaurants on the water or in places like Circular Road that run about 15 to 20 Singapore dollars per plate. A quick note about payments though. Most places in Singapore accept credit cards, but for the hawker markets, you'll need some cash. We just used an ATM machine to withdraw 100 Singapore dollars, which was more than what we needed for our time there. Next up, let's talk about activity prices in Singapore. As slow travelers, we try and keep our activity costs low, like we would if we were in our home base. Otherwise, we'd spend way too much money on tourist stuff and we wouldn't be able to travel for as long as we do. And fortunately, there are lots of free things to do in Singapore. We were able to walk around fun areas like Chinatown, check out Fort Canning Park, explore Little India, and visit the Sultan Mosque, all at no cost. Just don't forget to take breaks from the heat.
What did this tower say to the person walking by? I'm a huge fan.
One of my favorite parts of Singapore was the walkway along the water. One section of the walk takes you past the famous Merlion statue.
It's bigger than I thought.
Another part takes us past the Esplanade Theatre that reminds us of a famous smelly fruit.
We've heard of this building being referred to as the Durian Building, and if it's not called that, it certainly looks like one.
The Gardens by the Bay is one of the most famous sites in Singapore.
There are plenty of ticketed attractions around here, but you can walk around the grounds for absolutely free.
We made our way through the Silver Garden, Indian Garden, and walkways by the ponds.
My mom would have loved this place with these dragonfly sculptures all over the place.
We also continued to find creative ways to take breaks from the heat.
This walkway is designed to keep you cool, though I don't think anything can save my hair from this humidity.
Probably one of the most famous parts of the Gardens by the Bay is the Super Tree Grove.
Oh my goodness.
Which is free to check out from the ground level.
It's not too busy here right now, but we're going to come back tonight for the light show when I expect it'll be a lot busier. Right now, we're going to get on the MRT and head to Chinatown.
With that said, let's move on to the cost of transportation in Singapore. With the MRT subway system being as well designed as it is, we used it as our only paid method of transportation here.
To use the MRT, all you need to do is tap your credit card and just go in and out.
Just make sure that each person in your group uses a separate credit card to tap. We paid about 3 Singapore dollars to get from the airport to our hotel on the MRT. Trips within the center part of the city cost about 2 Singapore dollars per person. We walked a lot too, so we spent less than 15 Singapore dollars on transit during the 3 days we were here. Now let's talk about accommodations. This cost was the biggest reason we kept our time here short. I would have actually loved to spend much more time in this amazing city, and maybe our slow travels will take us back here one day. Let's show you our hotel room. I wanted to give you a tour of our very small hotel room. Seriously, I've seen camper vans that are bigger than this. So right when you come in, you have this bathroom here. You got a rain shower, and then on the opposite side you have the toilet and you have all your towels. So it's actually quite nice. It's just not very private. And you have the sink over here with all your stuff, and a safe and a fridge. Thank goodness we travel lightly because our luggage fits under here. That's the only spots we have to keep our luggage, and we've just kept our clothes inside our bags. And that's our room here in Singapore for about 150 Canadian dollars per night. But of course you can go more upscale too. Singapore has plenty of high-end hotels, the most famous one being the Marina Bay Sands.
I am standing inside the Marina Bay Sands hotel, and the hotel rooms look really cool. But when I checked the prices on Google, it said that they were about $2,000 per night per room. Seems a little expensive, so I need to double check, but definitely not cheap to stay here.
Now let's get back to the Gardens by the Bay for the free night show called Garden Rhapsody. When we were there, the shows ran at 7:45 and 8:45 p.m. nightly and lasted about 15 minutes. So after all that, how much did our 3 nights in Singapore cost us? We spent 450 Singapore dollars on our very small hotel room, $90 on food, $0 on attractions, and about $15 on transportation around the city, for a total cost of 555 Singapore dollars. This is definitely way more expensive than we usually allow for our slow travels, so we'll need to bring our costs down as we continue to travel through Southeast Asia. And that's our video for today. We hope you're doing well, and we'll see you in our next video as we travel to Malaysia.